Attracting everything you want in life begins not with external actions, but with the internal foundation of the mind. Stoicism teaches that the world outside of us is often beyond our control. Circumstances, people, and outcomes can shift in ways we may not predict. However, what we always command is our perception, our response, and our values. To attract success, peace, or abundance, you must first master the way you interpret and interact with life. If your inner world is chaotic, anxious, or consumed with fear, your energy will repel opportunities. But if your mind is disciplined, calm, and rooted in virtue, you will naturally draw on the right experiences, because others are drawn to stability, strength, and clarity. This is why the Stoics insisted that the path to external gain always begins with internal mastery. Instead of chasing things, you cultivate yourself to such a degree that those things find you. The law of attraction, when viewed through Stoicism, is not about mere wishing. It is about aligning your desires with what you can control and strengthening your character, so the universe responds in kind. One of the greatest barriers to attracting what you want in life is vagueness. Most people wander through existence unsure of what they truly want, bouncing between temporary desires and distractions. The Stoics believed clarity of purpose was essential. If you desire wisdom, wealth, or freedom, you must define what that truly means to you. Without clarity, your energy disperses like scattered rays of light. But when focused, intention becomes like a laser, cutting through confusion and shaping your reality. To live stoically is to strip away the unnecessary and focus on what is essential. For example, if you say you want success, the Stoic approach is not to chase approval or money blindly, but to ask yourself, what is success according to nature, according to virtue, according to reason? Once defined, your actions, habits, and choices align naturally. People around you recognize this certainty and are magnetized by it. The clearer your vision, the stronger your ability to attract everything you want, because you no longer radiate confusion, you radiate direction. Ironically, the more desperately you chase something, the further it seems to run. The Stoics understood this paradox well. Obsession creates anxiety, and anxiety blocks flow. Instead, Stoicism teaches detachment. Detachment does not mean apathy. It means giving your best effort, guided by reason and virtue, while releasing the need to control the result. If you want wealth, for instance, focus on working with excellence, honesty, and consistency, not on obsessing over profits. If you want love, focus on being a person of integrity and depth, not on manipulating affection. This calm detachment creates an aura of strength, which naturally draws things toward you. People trust those who are not needy. Opportunities appear to those who act without desperation. The Stoics live by the principle that freedom comes from reducing dependence on external outcomes. And paradoxically, once you stop clinging, life gives you more. Detachment transforms you into a source of stability, and stability is irresistibly attractive in an unstable world. You cannot attract everything you want in life by mere thoughts alone. You must embody discipline. Stoicism emphasizes daily practice, the repetition of virtuous habits until they shape your character. Discipline is magnetic because it proves you can be trusted. A disciplined person shows up every day, regardless of mood or difficulty. This reliability builds momentum, and momentum is what pulls opportunities into your orbit. Imagine two individuals, one who dreams but never acts, and another who consistently refines his craft, controls his impulses, and persists through struggle. Which one do you think will attract mentors, partners, or opportunities? The Stoic answer is obvious: the disciplined one. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca all stressed that excellence is not a single act but a repeated choice. When you live with discipline, rising early, training your body, studying wisdom, restraining destructive emotions, you emit an energy of order. That order resonates with the universe, signaling that you are ready to receive greater responsibility, greater wealth, and greater peace. In short, discipline magnetizes abundance. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in attraction, and the Stoics were masters of it. While modern people often believe they must acquire more to be happy, the Stoic reverses this by recognizing the wealth already present in every moment. Seneca wrote that he is the richest man who is content with the least. Why is this mindset so powerful for attracting more? Because gratitude shifts your energy from lack to abundance. If you focus on what you lack, you radiate desperation and scarcity, which repels. If you focus on what you already have, health, breath, mind, relationships, you radiate abundance, which draws more abundance. The universe seems to respond to your emotional state. Those who act poor in spirit remain poor, while those who act rich in gratitude attract richness. Gratitude also builds resilience. When challenges arise, you still see value in them, and people admire this strength. By practicing daily gratitude, you not only feel wealthy, you become a magnet for more wealth, peace, and joy. To attract everything you want, you must first appreciate what you already possess. A central lesson of Stoicism is that unrestrained desire weakens us. When you want everything at once, you scatter your energy, lose focus, and attract nothing. To truly attract what matters, you must learn to govern your desires. The Stoics warned against being enslaved by passions, because a man controlled by his cravings is like a ship tossed in storms without an anchor. Instead, you must discipline your wants, reducing them to what is natural, reasonable, and virtuous. Imagine you crave wealth, fame, luxury, and power simultaneously. You will exhaust yourself chasing illusions. But if you refine your desire into something pure, like financial independence through virtuous work, suddenly your energy condenses, and attraction becomes possible. People admire those who are not ruled by greed, but guided by purpose. Opportunities flow to those who can say no to distractions and yes to clarity. The less you need, the stronger your magnetic field becomes, because your soul radiates freedom. And freedom, according to the Stoics, is the highest form of wealth. Life will test you with pain, loss, and rejection. If you collapse under these pressures, you repel opportunities, because weakness communicates unreliability. But if you cultivate inner strength, you attract respect, trust, and alliances. Stoicism trains the mind to endure difficulties with calmness. Marcus Aurelius endured wars, plagues, and betrayal. Yet he remained steady, because he understood that obstacles are not punishments, but training grounds. Every challenge you face and overcome becomes part of your magnetic field. People are drawn to those who remain calm in storms, because calmness signals wisdom and reliability. Think about it. If you were choosing a partner, leader, or friend, would you choose the one who panics in crisis, or the one who remains composed? Strength attracts, weakness repels. Therefore, the Stoic way to attract what you want is to build resilience, face hardship without complaint, and use every obstacle as fuel for growth. The stronger your spirit, the more naturally everything you desire gravitates toward you. Self-control is perhaps the greatest proof of mastery, and mastery is irresistibly attractive. In a world where most people are slaves to impulses, overeating, overspending, overreacting, the person who controls himself stands out as extraordinary. The Stoics considered self-control not just a personal virtue, but a universal law of attraction. If you control your tongue, you attract trust. If you control your emotions, you attract respect. If you control your habits, you attract health, wealth, and freedom. Epictetus taught that no man is free who cannot master himself. Why is this so magnetic? Because self-control radiates stability in an unstable world. Imagine someone who never loses temper in arguments, who listens more than speaks, who acts instead of reacting. Such a person becomes a natural leader, drawing people and opportunities without effort. When you embody self-control, you prove you can handle greater responsibility, and the universe rewards that readiness. To attract everything you want, you must first prove you can govern yourself. While Stoicism is grounded in reason and discipline, it also embraces the power of visualization, but in a very practical way. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, where they visualized possible hardships before they happened. This was not pessimism but preparation. By imagining loss, pain, or obstacles, they became mentally strong and less fearful. But visualization can also be used positively. Picture yourself living with virtue, discipline, and freedom, and your actions naturally align with that vision. The Stoic method is different from superficial, wishful thinking. It is not about imagining riches without work. It is about mentally rehearsing the life of wisdom and then living it. When your mind holds a clear image of the person you want to become, your habits, speech, and energy shift toward it, and the world responds. People sense when you carry vision inside you. They are drawn to it. Thus, visualization, when paired with Stoic discipline, becomes a powerful tool to attract everything you want in life. The Stoics believed the highest form of life is living in harmony with nature. This means aligning your actions with reason, accepting the natural flow of events, and refusing to fight reality. Most people repel what they want because they resist what is. They complain, cling, or demand that life bend to their ego, but attraction works differently. It emerges when you flow with reality instead of against it. If something is outside your control, let it go. If something is within your power, act with excellence. This balance creates peace, and peace attracts. People admire those who are not constantly fighting life, but moving gracefully with it. The Stoic life is attractive because it radiates acceptance without weakness and ambition without desperation. When you live according to nature, honest in speech, moderate in consumption, disciplined in work, you become magnetic. Life begins to trust you with more, because you are no longer resisting its order but working with it. In this harmony lies the secret to attracting everything you want. Impatience is one of the greatest destroyers of attraction. People often demand instant results. Success overnight, wealth without effort, or recognition without mastery. Yet the Stoics understood that all things worthwhile require time, discipline, and endurance. Patience is not weakness, it is strength under control. Marcus Aurelius wrote that nature works at its own pace. Fruit ripens in its season, not before. The same is true of your goals. If you try to force outcomes too quickly, you create resistance and anxiety, which repel opportunities. But when you embody patience, you send a signal of confidence to the universe. You are saying, I trust the process. I trust my effort. I do not need to rush. This calm faith makes others trust you too, because they see you are not desperate but grounded. Opportunities often come to those who wait with dignity, because patience allows preparation, and preparation attracts success. By mastering patience, you become like a mountain, unmoved, steady, and therefore magnetic to everything you desire. Another key to attracting what you want in life is the Stoic habit of daily reflection. Each evening, Stoics like Seneca would examine their actions. What did I do well? Where did I fail? How can I improve tomorrow? This simple yet powerful practice aligns your life with intention. Attraction requires consistency, and consistency requires awareness. If you drift unconsciously, your energy becomes scattered. But if you live deliberately, every day becomes a step toward your vision. Reflection sharpens your character, and character attracts. People are drawn to those who are constantly improving themselves, because growth radiates energy. Daily reflection also prevents arrogance, because you see your flaws honestly and work to correct them. This humility makes you trustworthy and approachable, strengthening your magnetic presence. By reviewing your actions daily, you align more closely with virtue, and virtue is the true magnet of the universe. Over time, this practice turns you into a living example of wisdom, and wisdom attracts everything else. No great achievement can be attracted without courage. Fear paralyzes and repels opportunities, while courage draws them closer. The Stoics defined courage not as the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. Epictetus taught that difficulties reveal a person's character. Challenges are the stage where courage is tested. Imagine two people, one hides from risks, the other faces them calmly. Which one will attract mentors, opportunities, and respect? The answer is obvious: the courageous one. Courage is magnetic because it inspires trust. People follow those who dare to act. Life rewards those who step forward when others hesitate. This does not mean recklessness, but reasoned bravery. The ability to face uncertainty with strength. By practicing Stoic courage, you move beyond hesitation and act with clarity. The universe responds by opening doors because courage proves you are ready for growth. To attract everything you want, you must step beyond comfort, face fear directly, and live boldly as the Stoics did. In a world obsessed with complexity, simplicity shines like a beacon. Stoicism teaches that unnecessary desires, possessions, and distractions weigh us down. The simpler your life, the clearer your energy, and the stronger your attraction. Simplicity is not poverty, it is freedom. Seneca lived in wealth but practiced simplicity, reminding himself that luxury was never the source of happiness. Why is simplicity attractive? Because it communicates focus. People admire those who are not enslaved by clutter, greed, or endless noise. Simplicity gives you time to focus on what matters: virtue, discipline, relationships, purpose. When your life is uncluttered, you radiate clarity, and clarity attracts. Imagine a leader whose words are simple yet powerful. He commands more respect than one who confuses with complexity. The same is true of life itself. Simplicity strengthens your magnetism. By reducing excess and living with clarity, you create space for greater things to enter. The Stoic life, stripped of distraction, becomes a powerful force of attraction. Perhaps the greatest secret of attraction is this: the more you give, the more you receive. Stoicism emphasizes service to others, reminding us that we are part of a greater whole. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a man's life is fulfilled when he serves the common good. When you dedicate yourself to contribution, helping, teaching, building, healing, you attract abundance because you create value. People are naturally drawn to those who uplift them. Opportunities follow those who serve sincerely. If you chase only personal gain, you repel because others sense selfishness. But when you serve with integrity, you attract respect, loyalty, and support. This is why the most successful lives are those rooted in contribution. Even wealth flows faster to those who provide real value. The Stoics remind us that true greatness lies in serving humanity. By living this way, you not only attract success, you create a legacy. Service makes you magnetic, because the universe always supports those who support others. One of the most magnetic qualities a person can develop is emotional stability. In a world where people are quick to anger, easily offended, and constantly swayed by moods, the individual who remains calm is a rare treasure. The Stoics believed that emotions themselves were not the enemy, but our lack of discipline over them was. If you want to attract everything you desire in life, whether relationships, opportunities, or peace, you must learn to govern your emotions. Anger repels, jealousy repels, panic repels. But calmness attracts, confidence attracts, and serenity attracts. When you respond to challenges with composure, people trust you more deeply. They want to follow you, work with you, and connect with you, because you provide stability in chaos. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That strength radiates outward and becomes a natural magnet. Emotional mastery is not suppression but understanding. Choosing your responses instead of being enslaved by impulses. The more stable your emotions, the more life aligns itself around you. Integrity is one of the strongest forces of attraction. Without integrity, everything else collapses. The Stoics taught that virtue is the highest good, and integrity is virtue in action. If you lie, cheat, or betray, you may gain temporary advantage, but you will lose trust, and trust is the foundation of attraction. People are drawn to those who live consistently with their values. Integrity creates a magnetic aura because it communicates reliability. You are who you say you are. This draws mentors, friends, and partners who know they can depend on you. Integrity also aligns you with the universe itself, because you are living according to reason and nature. Wealth, success, and happiness cannot be sustained without integrity. They will slip away like water through broken hands. But with integrity, even small opportunities grow, because you are faithful with what you have. Living with honesty, fairness, and virtue makes you a magnet for abundance that lasts. The Stoics remind us character is destiny, and integrity is its cornerstone. Wisdom is the guiding light of attraction. The Stoics placed wisdom at the center of all virtues, because without it, courage becomes recklessness, discipline becomes rigidity, and service becomes blind sacrifice. Wisdom allows you to know what to pursue, what to avoid, and how to act. Many people repel what they want because they lack wisdom. They chase illusions, waste time, or act without foresight. But when you cultivate wisdom through study, reflection, and experience, you make better choices, and better choices naturally attract better outcomes. Wisdom also gives you perspective. You see beyond temporary struggles to the larger purpose. This calm vision inspires confidence in others, drawing them toward you. People are magnetized by those who think deeply, act thoughtfully, and live with clarity. Seneca said, "The wise man is content with himself." That contentment radiates outward, pulling opportunities toward you. In this way, wisdom is not just knowledge. It is the magnetic intelligence that aligns your life with everything you desire. Resilience is one of the most powerful forms of attraction, because it proves your strength to yourself and others. Life will test your patience, break your plans, and challenge your dreams. Most people quit at the first sign of resistance. But the Stoic does not quit. He endures, adapts, and continues. Resilience makes you magnetic because it communicates unshakable will. Imagine someone who has fallen many times yet rises stronger each time. Such a person inspires, attracts, and commands respect. Opportunities often come not to the most talented, but to the most resilient, because resilience ensures survival until success arrives. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." When you embody resilience, obstacles no longer repel you. They actually draw you closer to your goals. Life itself seems to reward those who endure, because resilience transforms struggle into strength. To attract everything you want, you must prove you will not be broken. At the heart of it all, the way to attract everything you want in life is not to chase, beg, or manipulate, but to live as a Stoic. This means focusing on what you can control, letting go of what you cannot, and cultivating virtues like wisdom, courage, discipline, and justice. When you embody these principles, you radiate strength, peace, and clarity. People sense it, opportunities flow toward it, and life aligns with it. The Stoic does not need to force attraction. He becomes attraction itself. By practicing gratitude, discipline, service, and integrity, you transform into the kind of person who naturally receives the best that life has to offer. The modern world often teaches people to manifest by thinking alone, but Stoicism reminds us that true attraction requires action, alignment, and virtue. When you live this way, you not only attract wealth, success, and relationships, you attract inner peace, the highest prize of all. To live as a Stoic is to live magnetically, and in doing so, you truly attract everything you want in life.